So, more news on Star Trek Discovery, and that is that the series is going to be set 10 years before the original series, which would make it 3 years after The Cage. Now, the original series starts with Where No Man Has Gone Before. Where No Man Has Gone Before is the pilot episode of the original series. It's the second pilot of Star Trek. There was a Star Trek made before then, you probably know this. The Cage, starring Jeff Hunter as Chris Pike. It didn't get picked up. They asked them to do it again, which is rare. Where No Man Has Gone Before is the second pilot starring William Shatner, and that got picked up and turned into the original series, which we know and love. If you watch Where No Man Has Gone Before, the aesthetic is different to the rest of the original series. It takes its cue from The Cage. I suspect it uses pretty much the same sets from The Cage, same uniforms. The collars very different, high collars, and the colours nowhere near as vivid. They do use different colours, but nowhere near as vivid. And of course, all the crew members wear trousers, including the women. So no mini skirts, which is quite a big deal. So I'm wondering whether or not this new series is going to use that aesthetic as its jumping point. Will it be using Where No Man Has Gone Before / The Cage, bearing in mind that it's 10 years earlier than the TOS. So if you were to go by canon, then you would say that the aesthetic should be somewhere between The Cage and Where No Man Has Gone Before, but obviously updated for 2016, for a 21st century taste, 21st century audience, and a 21st century technology in terms of physical and practical and special effects and costume design. So it's all going to be really interesting to see whether or not they do that. Even if they did use The Cage / Where No Man Has Gone Before as a starting point, it would look, I think, quite different for the reasons that I've just stated. It's a different time, 50 years later. Things have moved on in terms of audience taste, and I would imagine that it will reflect that. But I think that there's a very good possibility that they will not use the original, sort of like the regular original series aesthetic. I think that the costumes and that will be different, partly to move away from the Kelvinverse movies, which obviously do use that style very boldly and to great effect, in my opinion. So looking at Where No Man Has Gone Before, I think, will be a good start when you're prognosticating as to what Discovery is going to look like, I should say. And we shall know, I'm sure, very shortly. I mean, what is it now? It's September now. The show comes out in January, so hopefully we'll start to see some images and some stills and some publicity and some more information coming out quite soon. So this is what I think. That's what I think Star Trek Discovery will look like.